Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep and welcome to this today's session, which is about the 9 month preparation strategy for CAT 2023. So, of course, if you count it from today, today is 28th of February. We have the exam on 26th of November this year. So, more or less, approximately 9 months are left for the exam. So, what should you do? How should you prepare for your exam? That's what we are going to discuss in our today's session. So I'll start soon with the session, but before that, can you please confirm, is everything fine? Am I audible and visible to you guys? Hi Sahih there, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you once again. So just confirm it once that everything is fine or not. I mean, there are no operational issues. Then we shall start with our session. Okay. Now, at this moment, actually, many of you have this question, sir, is it the right time to start the preparation? Some of you would be having the question, ki, sir, are we too late to prepare for CAT? Some of you would be having this question that isn't it too early? Can't we just prepare in 5 or 6 months? Right? See, my answer to that question, first of all, is that when you talk about CAT, it is not that there is a particular prescribed syllabus from which you will be having the questions, right? So you might prepare within 2 months, you might not prepare even in 18 months. It depends upon two things. First, that at what stage currently you are, how much do you know, how much comfortable are you with these areas? And secondly, how seriously you study for it. I mean, whatever time you have now, how do you utilize your time? That is also important. According to that, probably you would be able to decide whether you would be able to do it in the coming time or not. Okay. So, Sahih, this is I'm in batch one. That's great, Sahih. I'm sure this is going to be a useful session for you as well. So we shall start with our session now without any further delay. Okay. Let's start talking about it. So, as I said that we are talking about 9 months to CAT. So, the agenda for us today is I'll first talk about when do the notification come out, when do we have the exam, when the registration starts and all those things. Then we will have a section-wise analysis, right? What happens in the QA section, what happens in the LRDI section or VA section. And finally, we'll be talking about a study plan as well. That in these 9 months, how should you devote your time to different sections and how should you be studying for that? That's what we are going to discuss about. Okay. So just wait a second. After that, we shall start. Just a second. Having a little cold, so because of that, I had to stop. Okay. Good afternoon, Chirag Goel. So Sai Hriday is saying something. Please tell to how to prepare for Baiju student their daily routine and for also DLR. Sai Hriday, for that we keep taking sessions on our app as well as on YouTube. So of course we can't give you a day-wise routine, but at least a month-wise routine can always be made. A day-wise schedule you can make for yourself. I mean, how much time do you have, whether you are studying or you are doing a job or you are not doing anything or that. Accordingly, just devote a time. Good afternoon, Sumant Kumar. So let's start with it now. So first of all, when I talk about the CAT 2023 notification, the notification would be released by July 23 end week, right? So normally, I mean, every year it appears in the end of the week of July, the last Sunday of July or the first Sunday of August. So somewhere around that will be held the notification. The exam is always there on the last Sunday of November. So this year the last Sunday of November is on 26th of November 2023. So the exam would be conducted on this date, 26th of November. If you look at the previous trends, so every year the convening body for the exam is a different IIM. So last year it was IIM Bangalore, last year it was IIM Ahmedabad. So going by that pattern that has been there in the previous years as well, we can say that IIM Lucknow will be the convening body this year for CAT 2023, and It will be conducted in the online mode. I mean, almost by 100% surety, you can say so, because since CAT 2009, it has always been conducted in the online mode only. Till 2008, it was an offline exam. Moreover, now after these COVID restrictions and all, anyways, online has become a better medium of instruction, medium of the exam. So therefore, we are assuming that this year also it is going to be an online based exam. Okay, so if I just show you the calendar, the important date. So at the end of July, somewhere you will have the notification in the leading newspapers. Generally, it would be there in Times of India, Hindustan Times, Indian Express, The Hindu. You can find there, or of course nowadays it is available on internet as well. And the registration would start somewhere in the first week of August. It will go on till the mid of September, and at that time you will also have a correction window. Some of the things that you have put in your form, there you might have made a mistake there, so you would be allowed to make a change there. You can make a correction, though not in everything. You can't make a change to your name, you can't make a change to your email ID, to your phone number, to your father's and mother's name. There are so many things in which you can't make a change. Probably you can make a change in your scores that you have put in, or the address probably that you have put in. So there are few things that you can change. That correction window will be provided to you. The exam is going to be on 26th of November 2023. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you now. So before I move ahead, I'll take up some questions. Some people have put up some questions I see here. So let me just see those questions. Good afternoon, Arjun. Explorer says, sir, what is the price of BYJU'S subscription for CAT 2023? Explorer, I'm actually not sure about this, that what is the fee. But yes, someone from my team would definitely contact with you. If you can write your phone number or email ID, through that they can contact you, and they would definitely help you out with that. Okay. Priya is saying, sir, did not filter tier 2 colleges, did not get tier 1 colleges, and okay, did not fill. And I'm 23. And if I think of repeating, 9 months are going to be hard for me because of family pressure for marriage. I'm getting depressed day by day. Okay. See, Priya, uh, the first thing that I see in your message is getting depressed. Do not be depressed about these things. Such kind of situations would be there whole of your life, and there would be many such instances that would be there. This is a very small instance, right? So you are getting depressed only because of your family members are creating a pressure. But one thing is for sure, that they love you, right? They take care of you. You can easily tell them that, see, I want to give another attempt for CAT, and tell them that the average age of the students, even in IIM Ahmedabad, is around 24 years, rather more than 24 years, which means that most of the people who go to these IIMs, they either go after a work experience, or they write multiple attempts, right? So it's not that you are doing something very different. So just explain it to them. I'm pretty sure they are your parents, so they would definitely listen to you, and they would agree with that as well. Just tell them that I want to attempt once again. If you got tier 2 colleges, that means you did good last time as well, and I'm sure that you can do better this year. Tell them that I am very close to my target and probably can get into a very good B school, so please give me another time. So they would definitely allow it to you, and then you can go and prepare for it. I'm sure that they would not come in the way, for sure. ठीक है, कोई भी पेरेंट्स ऐसा नहीं करते हैं. So of course they would be having their own apprehensions, because of which whatever they are doing currently they would be doing. But yes, once you explain it to them, they would definitely help you with that. चलिए जी. Now, what is the expected paper pattern? कैसा आ सकता है 2023? When I talk about CAT 2022 paper pattern, which was similar to that of CAT 21 as well. So, I mean, after the COVID restrictions, actually things changed a little bit. CAT 2020 was a 2-hour paper. Before that, CAT used to be a 3-hour paper. So 2-hour paper, so the number of questions were reduced, but they did things in haste that year. Later on, they actually changed it. In 2021 and 22, we had the same paper pattern. 24 questions in verbal ability, 20 questions in LRDI, 22 questions in quantitative ability, total 66, 17 theta, 49 MCQs. This has been the same in 2021 as well as 2022. The change were very little. For example, in data interpretation, 2022 may we had two sets of 6 questions and two sets of 4 questions. Sorry, 2021 May. But in 2022, we had 4 sets of 5 questions each. But the number of questions did not change. So we are assuming almost the same kind of pattern in 2023 as well. But yes, they might go back to 2022, 2020 जो उसमें हुआ था. So 19, 21, 15, 18, 16, 18. These are the number of questions we are assuming MCQs from these areas. The total number of questions, it can lie in this range next year, and the total number of questions in the paper can be between 66 and 76. But almost by surety, you can say the exam is going to be of 2 hours. The sectional time limit would be 40 minutes. Right answer के लिए +3, wrong answer के लिए -1 for theta questions. There is no negative marking. So all those things we are assuming would remain the same. सुमंत क्या कह रहे हैं? Sir, how many sets we should do on a daily basis in DILR? I will come to that, Sumant. At that time, probably, if I miss it, you can ask me the question. I would answer it there. Sir, I'm putting trust on BYJU'S. Can I get 99 percentile in CAT in 9 months? BYJU would not be able to do that. Sai Hirday, you have to put trust in you, right? 90% it is your hard work that can do it. 10% is BYJU'S, because BYJU'S can only guide you, right? We people are teaching. So when we are teaching, we make sure that we teach you all the important, relevant, and the right things. And we guide you through that this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do. Ultimately, it is up to you only. You can definitely score 100 as well if you do the hard work in the right direction. गलत करेंगे तो पक्का ही नहीं भी हो सकता है. So you are the person actually who has to do it. Now, decoding the VARC section. Now, I'll be talking about section-wise things. First, we'll talk about the VARC section, then we'll talk about the DILR section, and then we will talk about the QA section, and let's talk about them one by one. Start with VARC. So, when I talk about VARC, what has happened? That the number of questions in CAT 2019, 20, 21, 22. So in this order, right? The uppermost is CAT 19, the lowermost is CAT 2022. The number of questions from reading comprehension has been 24, 18, 16 and 16 in the last 4 years. But again, you would see in 2021 and in 2022, they have been the same, which is 16 in both the years. But when we talk about para jumbles, 3 questions in the last 2 years. Summary based questions, 3 questions in the last 2 years. Odd one out or para completion, 2 questions in the last 2 years. They have been the same. The point is, the biggest area in VARC has been reading comprehension throughout the years, whether you are talking about 19 or 20 or 21 or 22, हर साल सबसे बड़ा एरिया हम लोगों के लिए आरसी ही रहा है. So therefore you have to pay a lot of attention towards RC. Though, if I talk about other things as well, para jumbles or summary based or para completion, even all those are also based upon reading habits only. So you have to develop a reading habit. Keep that in mind. That is going to be the most important area for you. Sir, please suggest any strategy for quant, because I'm weak in quant. Explorer, we will be talking about that today. Okay, now some takeaways when I'm talking about VARC. In VARC, there is one very important point, that in the last 5 years, 56 passages have appeared from RC. 23 out of them, they were from excerpts. So excerpts है यहाँ पे, ये कुछ गलत लिखा हुआ है. This is excerpts from the books Aeon Essays and New York Times. So these are the things that you have to pay a lot of attention to now, right? So these 23 passages out of 56. So they have been taken from a book. I mean, some portion from a book has been taken and it has been created as a reading comprehension. Aeon essays have been taken, or from the New York Times. Now, of course, we do not have a habit of reading these things, but I'm saying create a habit, build a habit, right? Start reading these things as well, because till now we were probably reading Times of India or Hindustan Times. That's okay, right? You might be reading some novels as well. But if you want to actually clear the CAT exam in flying colors, I think you have to pay a lot of attention to your sources now, from which source I should study, so that I feel more familiar with these sets when I appear for the actual exam, right? 27 out of 56 passages, which is approximately half of the total. 27 out of 56 passages in the last 5 years, they are from 3 genres, that is sociology and anthropology, ecology, zoology or biology, philosophy and psychology. Now, this point is also important, right? मैं कह रहा हूं मान लीजिए आप लोग ऐसा कर रहे हैं, let us say you are I mean currently reading things to develop a reading habit, but I'm pretty sure not many of you would be reading from sociology and anthropology, ecology, zoology, biology or philosophy and psychology. ठीक है, कौन पढ़ता है ये सारे topics? We generally do not study from these areas, right? What are we studying? I mean, we probably would be reading political news or sports news or something, like you can say. You might be reading history, you might be reading fiction or non-fiction. I mean, these are the things that we generally read. How many of you do read sociology and anthropology? How many of us read ecology, zoology, biology, philosophy, psychology? कहाँ पढ़ते हैं हम सभी सब चीजें? But CAT is asking you questions on those. So therefore, this is something that you have to pay attention to now, that while you are reading, make it a habit to read from these areas, because once again, as I said, that CAT is going to ask you questions based upon those. Sir, I just want to ask whether it is all about cat in life, nothing more than that. चिराग गोयल ऐसा कह रहे हैं? नहीं नहीं नहीं, चिराग, life is much 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 more than cat. Cat is just a single step in between. ठीक है, उसको क्लियर कर लोगे तो आगे का रास्ता थोड़ा सा खूबसूरत हो जाता है, ऐसा समझ लीजिए. इट इज अ स्मॉल turn in your life, so there are hundreds of roads in front of you, so you might take a probably smoother road if you go through cat. 100% ही कर दो ना, क्या 100% करना है हितार्थ, जरा मुझे भी बताना. ओके, नाउ व्हाट अबाउट वर्बल एबिलिटी? अभी हमने आरसी के बारे में बात की. व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट वर्बल एबिलिटी, 48 आउट ऑफ 112 क्वेश्चंस इन द लास्ट 5 years, दे आर आल्सो फ्रॉम ऑलमोस्ट द सेम एरियाज दैट वी डिस्कस्ड अभी, है ना? साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, इकोलॉजी, जूलॉजी, बायोलॉजी, फिलोसफी, साइकोलॉजी, तो अभी भी बात कर रहे थे ना हम इसके बारे में. So even they have been from these areas, so that means we have to change our reading habits a lot. Now the most important point, कितने स्कोर पे कितना परसेंटाइल आता है, right? So when I talk about VARC section here, last year we had 24 questions, that means it was of 72 marks. Last to last year was also, it was of 72 marks. But of course you can see a drop in the marks in 2022 with respect to 2021. The simple reason is that this year the exam was difficult with respect to that of CAT 2021 when I talk about the VARC section. But still, even after being difficult, just 33%, which are the passing marks in a paper, can fetch you 90 percentile in VARC, right? Just 33% can fetch you 90 percentile. Approximately 50% can fetch you somewhere around 97, 98 percentile in VARC, right? So generally we feel that whatever comes in a paper, we have to do all of the things, but no, CAT is not about that. CAT is about selective questions. You don't have to do all of them. ढूंढ कर आपको कुछ questions करने हैं so that you can do better. ठीक है, so 33% वाला जनरली तो हमारे एग्जाम्स में पास होता है, but here at 33% you can get 90 percentile, a percentile which is good enough to clear your sectional cutoff for all the IIMs. I repeat, a 90 percentile is a percentile which is good enough to clear your sectional cutoff in all IIMs. Rather, not only IIMs, even all other colleges as well. No one has a sectional cutoff of more than 90%. Then, what about the DILR section? Let's start talking about that as well. First of all, the syllabus to be covered. क्या क्या cover करना है आपको इसके अंदर? So of course, when I talk about LRDI, there are two things that we are discussing: LR and DI. Okay, the more important among them is definitely LR. Nowadays, not many questions are being asked from DI. अगर आप पेपर देखेंगे कैट का, I mean, if there are, let's say, 4 sets, there are good chances that at least 3 of them would be from LR, 1 would be from DI, and there are chances that all 4 might be from LR, right? So CAT is more towards LR, you can say LR centric rather than DI. And in LR we have a lot many areas, not only the ones which are written on the screen. इससे ज्यादा भी बहुत सारे होते हैं. Okay, so missing data, arrangements, Venn diagrams, games and tournaments, selection and grouping, ग्रिड फॉर्मेशन, नेटवर्क, बाइनरी लॉजिक, क्यूब, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं ऐसी एलआर के अंदर जो आती हैं, राइट? सो नॉट ओनली दैट यू हैव टू स्टडी दीज चैप्टर वाइज, बट दिस इज जस्ट टू टेल यू दैट यस, एलआर बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस देयर आर नॉट मेनी देयर व्हिच आर देयर इन कैट. डीआई में भी है बार ग्राफ, पाई चार्ट, लाइन चार्ट, स्पाइडर ग्राफ, ट्रायंगल ग्राफ. but not many questions are being asked from DI in the actual CAT exam, right? When I talk about LRDI section, तो किस एरिया से कितने सेट्स आए हैं in the last few years? The maximum number of sets have been from reasoning based DI, that is 10 sets have been there from last 6 years, which are from reasoning based DI. Matrix and grid, matrix arrangement, scheduling and matrix. They have taken 7 plus 7 plus 6. 20 sets are there from matrix based questions. Venn diagram based questions have been sets have been 7. Unconventional hybrid games and tournaments based questions have been 6. And mathematical analytical reasoning, order and ranking, missing data, बहुत सारे ऐसे areas हैं from which the questions are being asked in the last few years. But still, even after making all these different types, there are types which cannot be categorized into anything, and still they have got the largest percentage of questions. LRDI is the area, generally we say it is the game changer area, because LRDI वो एरिया है जहां पे everyone is exactly at the same level. It was never taught in your school or any college or somewhere. Everyone is at the same level as far as LRDI is concerned. सबके सब हम लोग जो है एक ही लेवल पे हैं LRDI के केस में. So in LRDI, though we have created different types just to tell students that okay, you might feel that okay, I have covered something in LRDI already. Otherwise, actually, there is no prescribed syllabus for LRDI. They can ask you anything under the sun which is based upon reasoning. It might be a completely new type. When you go to the exam, you might feel ये तो मैंने कभी किया ही नहीं. It might be purely reasoning based and you have to do it. Every year I remember I find a set where it is completely new for us, but it's purely reasoning based. It does not require any prior knowledge to solve it, right? And there's one more important point. If I look at the difficulty level of these sets, in the last few years, 19 plus 2, 21 plus 3, 21 plus 3 is 23, is equal to 44. 44 sets out of 75. That means approximately 60% of the sets in the last few years, they have been easy or moderate. 60% of them have been easy to moderate. अगर आप ये 60% questions LRDI में कर लो ना, what kind of percentile you can get, you can't even imagine that. I'll be talking about that on the next page. But yes, as I told you in the previous page, matrix, reasoning based DI, Venn diagram, unconventional games and tournaments, they make 2/3 of the CAT DILR. Just 8 to 12 questions can actually get you a very, very good percentile. What is that percentile? As I told you, last year the exam was of, sorry, section was of 60 marks. Last to last year was also 60 marks. 50%, less than 50% rather, can take you to 99 percentile in LRDI. I just told you 60% of the sets in the last few years have been easy or moderate. तो अगर आप 60% कर लेते हैं, you go above 99.5 percentile. Even if you do just 50% of the sets, you get a 99 percentile in LRDI. Just 33% can fetch you a 95 percentile in LRDI. Just 25% can fetch you a 90% in LRDI. So these are all the important areas that you have to pay attention to, that you do not have to, हम बताते रहते हैं बच्चों को, मानते ही नहीं है. You do not have to look at each and every set in LRDI. There are 4 sets, let's say. Last year there were 4 sets of 5 questions each. अगर आप 4 में से 2 सेट भी कर लेते, you are at 99 percentile. But students are somehow getting 80-85 percentile, but would be looking at the most difficult set. सर ये कराओ ना, ये कैसे होगा? सर ये तो बहुत टाइम ले रहा है. It is taking 20 minutes. It is taking too much of time. It is taking 25 minutes. But why do you have to do that? Why are you even thinking about it? Right? Start thinking about it the day you get 99 percentile in LRDI. आपको 99 से ऊपर लाना है, तब तो उसके बारे में सोचिए. You are currently getting 80-85 percentile. Your target should be doing 1 set or 2 sets maximum. And you are talking about the most difficult. You want to do that as well. So you have to pay attention to that. You have to change your strategy according to that. This is what we keep telling all our students. Somehow they don't understand. So therefore, I want to convey this to you as well, that please pay attention to this part. Right? It's a very important part of your strategy while appearing for the exam. Sir, which section I prefer, LR or DI? Because I'm from arts background. It has nothing to do with the background explorer, right? You just have to do both of them. You do not have to focus upon anything. Prefer in whichever you are good. While appearing for LR and DI in the mock test and all, you will get to know that where are you doing better. Prefer that area. Now, Decoding the QA section. When I talk about QA section, of course, you can see that arithmetic has been the leader, right? So 8 to 9 questions last year, they were from arithmetic out of a total 22 questions. Last to last year, 22 questions, 7 to 10 were from arithmetic. Last to last year, 26 questions, 10 were from arithmetic. Uske pehle 34 questions, 14 were from arithmetic. So every year you see here that maximum number of questions have been from arithmetic, followed by algebra, which is the second largest area, followed by geometry, the third largest area. Without an exception, this has been happening for last many years now. Number system and modern mathematics, they are not given much weightage by CAT now. What do we mean by modern mathematics? Permutation, combination, probability, set theory, these are all part of modern mathematics. Now, what do you mean by arithmetic? Arithmetic includes time and distance, time and work, profit and loss, averages, mixture, allegation, all those things that you have studied till class 8th or 9th, I suppose, right? And as you see, in the last 5 years, 40% of the questions have been from arithmetic. Sorry, last 3 years. CAT 20 से CAT 2022 तक. Last 3 years, that means a total of 6 slots. In total 6 slots में मिला के 40% of the questions have been from arithmetic only. That makes it the most important area for you. Followed by algebra. 33% of the questions have been from algebra in the last 3 years. That means approximately 73% of the questions in the last 3 years have been from arithmetic and algebra together. Algebra contains all these areas: quadratic, sequence, series, logarithm, function, linear equations, etc. The areas generally we do not like much, है ना? ये सब वो areas है जो हमें ज्यादा पसंद नहीं है, ये हम नहीं करना चाहते हैं. But yes, they are pretty important from CAT's perspective. Third most important area is geometry, which includes area and volume, triangles, circles, coordinate, etc. Approximately 15% of the questions have been from this. Then number theory, which includes HCF, LCM, remainders, divisibility, rules, classification of numbers, etc. Just 7% of the questions. And then modern mathematics has got only 4 to 5% of the questions. This has been the weightage of the different topics under quantitative ability in the last few years. Okay. When I talk about the score versus percentile, once again, last year the paper was, sorry, section was of 66 marks. Last to last year it was of 66 marks. Out of 66, once again you would see approximately 50% can get you 99%. Approximately 33% can get you 95 percentile, and approximately 25% can get you 90 percentile. It is the same for DI as well as for quant. अगर आप DI और quant दोनों में देखेंगे, one fourth, one third, and half, they will give you 90, 95, and 99. They have been the same in the last 2 years. Even years before that, some exceptions are always there. Sometimes paper becomes too easy. जैसे आप यहाँ देखेंगे, suddenly there was a lot of change. ठीक है? हालांकि ये change आपको इसलिए नजर आ रहा होगा because this year the paper was of 78 marks. This year the section was of 102 marks. So there is a difference between marks. यहाँ पे 40 minutes का था, यहाँ 60 minutes का था. But yes, I do not have the data of 2017 here, but in 2017, as far as I remember, a 95 percentile was there at somewhere around 58. Major change था because paper was extremely easy in 2017. This might happen any of the years. You never know कि कब आसान होगा, कब difficult होगा. ये पहले से तो नहीं पता होता. So therefore you always have to be on your toes कि कब क्या हो जाने वाला है. We never know about. Okay. Now comes the month-wise study plan for CAT 2023. How can you get 99 percentile in CAT? That's what I'm going to talk about now. I'll be talking about a section-wise plan. What should you be doing in quantitative aptitude? What should you be doing in LRDI? And what should you be doing in verbal ability in these coming months? How would you do that? Let's start talking about that now. शुरू करते हैं. So first of all, when I talk about March and April, okay, I think I have missed something here. It is not June to July, it is May to July, and I think I have missed it everywhere. May to July. March, April. In quant, first of all, I'm talking about quant here. What should you be doing in March and April in the first 2 months? In the first 2 months, first of all, work upon your basics and fundamentals. How? For that, you can go through the NCERT books, you can go through your textbooks, whatever you have, and study all the chapters from class 6th to class 10th, right? Let us say you are studying class 6 chapters and you find that okay कि ये तो सर हम लोग जानते हैं, ये सब तो आता है हम लोगों को. So if that is the case, of course you can leave 6th and you can go to 7th. वो भी आता है, you can go to 8th. That ways you can do it. But yes, you have to read all the books from 6th to 10th to just I mean have clear fundamentals. वो करने के लिए सबसे पहली जरूरत तो है ये. And the two most important areas, they are arithmetic and algebra. Because arithmetic and algebra, they make approximately 70% of your QA section. So start preparing arithmetic and algebra in the next 2 months. This is the first thing you have to do. मार्च और अप्रैल में अर्थमेटिक और एल्जेब्रा कंप्लीट कर लीजिए. Then comes the next 3 months, May, June, and July. What should you be doing in May, June, and July? After doing arithmetic and algebra, now start doing geometry, number system, modern maths. जो क्वांट का बचा हुआ एरिया है, बट along with that keep on doing sectional tests for arithmetic and algebra, because I don't want you to forget these concepts in a meanwhile. That okay, we are studying the other topics, तो उसके टाइम पे जो ना हम लोग बाकी कुछ भूल ही गए हैं. Keep doing the sectional test because 70% तो वो अर्थमेटिक और एल्जेब्रा ही बनाते हैं ना. So I can't miss those, right? So because I can't miss those arithmetic and algebra, so therefore keep that in mind that in these 3 months, May, June, and July, apart from doing geometry, number system, and modern mathematics, start doing sectional tests of arithmetic and algebra as well. सारा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना है एनसीईआरटी का? नहीं नहीं नहीं, आपको सारा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं करना है. यू हैव टू रीड एवरी टॉपिक एंड दिस टाइम यू हैव टू रीड द थ्योरी पार्ट ऑफ इट एज वेल. योर जॉब इज टू कंप्लीटली गेट ऑल द बेसिक्स करेक्ट. आपको सारे बेसिक सीखने. तो बेसिक सीखने के लिए आपको सारे के सारे जो है, यू हैव टू स्टडी ऑल द theory part of it, do all the examples, and through that, the moment you feel that okay, I have understood the topic, I am able to do the questions, then move ahead. But I have seen this, that people who are coming to us, who are preparing for CAT many times, they don't even know how to solve a linear equation. That you probably should be doing from NCERT books, right? Many times they have problem in dividing and multiplying as well. That you should be doing from NCERT books. So start doing it from the NCERT books first of all. Then comes August and September. In August and September, practice specific topics by taking sectional tests available on BYJU'S Exam Prep. So now this is the time to take sectional tests for all of them together. Now, when I'm talking about the previous 3 months, May, June, July, I said ज्योमेट्री कीजिए, मॉडर्न मैथ्स कीजिए, सॉरी मॉडर्न मैथ्स कीजिए और नंबर सिस्टम कीजिए. along with that do sectional test of arithmetic and algebra. Now it is the time to do sectional test of quantitative ability. पूरे टेस्ट कीजिए उसके. apart from doing that for geometry, number system, when you do topic wise test, they would give you an idea that how good or bad you are in that topic. When you do the complete sectional test, this will give you an idea how are you able to do in the quantitative ability section. And in the last 2 months, it is the slot time. Every day you should be every week you should be attempting 3 to 4 sectional tests, and at least one mock over the weekends and one mock over the weekdays. That is must we should be doing in the last 2 months of October and November. This is a strategy which I feel for QA that you people can do. Okay, so make a chart in your mind. In March and April, I have to do the basics and I have to complete my arithmetic and algebra. In May, June, July, I have to complete geometry, number system, and modern mathematics. Along with that, I have to do sectional tests for all of them, arithmetic and algebra. Then August, September, I have to do sectional test of complete QA. In October, November, apart from the sectional tests, I have to write the mock tests as well. I have to analyze them. I have to see where am I going wrong, where am I going right. So all those things are to be analyzed properly in these months. This is what you should do for quantitative ability. Then comes VARC. March and April. In March and April, start reading editorials and newspapers because this is the time to build up the reading habits, right? So brush up your reading skills to be able to read actual RC passages quicker, right? When you are reading from the newspapers or from the novels or somewhere, so while reading those things, try to read them as fast as possible, but that reading does not mean you just go through them and you are not able to interpret or conclude anything. Whatever you are reading, it should sit in your mind as well, right? It should not be like you just read a statement and went away. It should sit in your mind. You should be able to interpret from it. You should be able to conclude from it what is it trying to say. You should be able to connect all these statements together. You should be able to create a story in your mind that this is what is going on, right? That all should be there. If you are not able to comprehend from a statement and then you are reading it, that makes no sense. So reading fast is something that you must focus in these 2 months of March and April. Then comes May, June and July. In these 3 months, along with VARC now, because now you have already worked on RC. Now, along with the VARC, you have to work on verbal ability topics as well. Along with that, ये ध्यान रखिएगा, sectional tests of RCs, they will keep on going. RC यहाँ पे एक तरह से ऐसे मान लीजिए अर्थमेटिक प्लस एल्जेब्रा का काम कर रहा है. VARC is working as if geometry plus number system plus modern mathematics. So along with VARC topics, along with that, you have to do a lot of sectional tests for RCs in these 3 months. Then comes August and September. Practicing mocks should become an integral part, okay, of your CAT preparation, because we have told all the times to our students, if you are just preparing and you are not writing mocks, you are not analyzing mocks, all your preparation is useless. Unless and until you write mock, you analyze it, unless and until you know where are you going wrong, where are you going right, unless and until you know what strategy suits you, unless you know that where where your selection is going wrong, where your selection is right. There are so many things are to be understood in CAT exam, which you can learn only through CAT mocks. You can't just go in the actual exam and do it. In the month of August and as well as September, write 3 to 4 mocks each of the 2 months, and then in October, November, figure out the topics you have a difficulty and revise those using our recorded sessions. And as I said, mocks to likhne hi likhne hai. At this time as well, you have to write at least 2 mocks in a week, analyze them well, get to know where are you going right, where are you making mistakes, and find them out. Watch our record. What we do at BYJU'S Exam Prep, actually, if we take a mock test, let's say from a person, right, from students, तो mock test के बाद हम उसका recorded solution देते हैं. We give you a recorded solution to give you an idea that what is the right way of attempting these questions, right? How can you choose the right option? How can you eliminate an option? What all other tricks you can use? We'll be talking about those. So go through those recorded sessions and check where were you lagging. Okay. Then comes LRDI once again in March and April, because it's a game changer section, as I told you. Start by solving a set on a daily basis. Make a habit of doing puzzles. So at this time, you can do those Sudoku puzzles. You can play some mobile logic games as well. There are so many things you can do here. You can do those George Summers puzzles as well, Shakuntala Devi puzzles as well. सो गेट इनटू द मोड ऑफ इट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, पहले तो पजल्स करना शुरू कीजिए, उसके मोड में आइए, राइट. हर रोज एक सेट सॉल्व कीजिए टू गेट एन आइडिया अबाउट डीएलआर की वो होता कैसा. देन कम्स मे, जून एंड जुलाई. In May, June and July, keep solving a set on a daily basis. Understand what are you doing wrong and ask your faculties for the best approach. Rather, I would say this is the time you should start doing 2 sets on a daily basis, right? Because कोई theory तो इसमें पढ़नी नहीं है ना. Why can't you do 2 sets on a daily basis? I think a person can do 2 sets on a daily basis as well. Yes, a person probably who is working somewhere, उनके लिए शायद रोज एक सेट करना मुश्किल, 2 सेट करना मुश्किल हो जाए तो एक कर सकते हैं. But a person who is not working anywhere, you can definitely do at least 2 sets on a daily basis from May to July. Then comes August, September. To learn the smartest way, once again, I would say go through the recorded videos as we just tell you, right? And October to November, aim at writing at least 2 CAT mocks per week. And I again would emphasize on this, analyzing the mocks is the more important area rather than writing the mocks, right? So this is a strategy that should be adopting for the next 9 months now. In LRDI, more or less, you don't have to do much because LRDI is more about practicing. Whenever you get time, practice कीजिए, practice कीजिए, practice कीजिए. Keep on practicing, and you will keep on getting better at LRDI. This is the simple rule that you have to follow. Okay. So that is all from my side, guys. Now, if you are looking for CAT 2023 comprehensive program, as someone was asking for this, so you can write down your phone number or your email ID in the box. Someone from our team would definitely message you. And what do we provide in our program? We provide you 300 plus engaging videos, 135 plus live sessions, mock tests 75 plus, 10,000 plus practice questions. So what all things are there? And we don't leave you unless you reach your college. We even prepare you for GDPI in VAT, and that's what we call as a comprehensive program, right? Also, you can get up to 90% scholarships by appearing for our scholarship test, which is there on 4th of March at 7 p.m. on BYJU'S Exam Prep app. on the BYJU'S Exam Prep app. वहां पे जाइए, register for it now and appear for this exam and you can win a lot. Also, I would be there today only at 7 p.m. once again at BYJU'S Exam Prep app, and I'll be talking about why MBA is the right career choice. Because at this stage, many people feel, should I be doing MBA? I'm an arts graduate, I'm a science graduate, I'm doing, let's say, hotel management. Should I be doing MBA? So, why it is the right choice? So, I'll be talking about that on BYJU'S Exam Prep app. We are also available on all these media handles, guys. You can find us there. And that's all from my side for today. I hope you liked this session. If you did, please do press the like button as well. Right? That's all from my side, guys. Thank you very much. We'll meet again today at 7 p.m. on BYJU'S Exam Prep app, where I'll be talking about the MBA as a profession. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Tara. Take care. Have a good day now. Taya.